Hello everyone, and welcome to a special episode where I am talking about Sewfrugal. So if you would like to see some ideas for keeping costs down in your sewing and free pattern advice, then stick around. Well everybody, this is not the episode I planned to give you. I have already recorded and put together a Sewfrugal episode, and then this morning I had a flash of inspiration, so you're getting this instead. But what I will do is release the other episode like in a couple of days' time, so you get two Sewfrugals from me. So if you're unfamiliar with Sewfrugal, it is run by two lovely people whose names I'll put on the screen, and I think this is like the 4th or 5th year of this. And the whole idea of Sewfrugal is you use fabric that already exists in your stash, whether that's fabric you've bought or a duvet or something else, and a free pattern. And it's not a pattern that's been given to you free or that you got free because a friend gave it to you. It needs to be a freely available to everyone free pattern. So for example, the LB pullover couldn't be used because the LB pullover was only free for a short period of time during December, and it's now a pay for pattern. So that's the key thing to remember, is it's got to be a pattern. And you don't have to use a pattern. You could self-draft, you could replicate a piece of clothing you've got, but if you use a pattern, it must be freely available to everyone. There are amazing prizes. While I'm talking, things will pop up on the screen here, but there are the brilliant intro videos by the two wonderful people running it, so thank you to them. This is a great sewing challenge because, particularly in these cost of living times, it is great to have an opportunity to think, how can I be more frugal in my sewing? If you want more tips on how to keep costs down in sewing, that's what my other episode is about. And I also include in there some general sites to find lots of free patterns as well. But what I'm doing for you today is a spring capsule / workwear wardrobe put together, sharing fabrics and also patterns. So let's get started. So what I thought I would do is think about what I needed in my wardrobe for spring, and also what I'd like to wear to work when I go to work, but also things that would work with other outfits. So the first thing I'm going to start with is top. So there are two tops that I looked at that I considered that I'm not going for, but there is the Tilda top by Maison Fauve. That is a perfect top for that smart casual, but also to pair with jeans. Really varies depending on what fabric you make it in. And the other one that I thought was quite good for a capsule wardrobe was the Closet Core free t-shirt, because again, depending on what you make that in, to whether you could pair it with smart trousers and a jacket, or whether you dress it down with jeans, skirt, etc. for weekend wear. So those two were strong contenders, but the one I went for was from a pattern company I'd not heard of called How to Do Fashion. Their patterns seem to be quite sort of vintage inspired, but if you sign up for their newsletter, you get number 00 free. They've got lots of instructions, there's lots of variations, but the one I really like is the cowl neck, because again, it's that kind of texture, and then when you put a jacket on, you don't lose all of that. It can be done with a zip or over the head. I thought it could be done with like a stretch viscose, because you'd have enough stretch to get it over without having to fuff around the zip, but you'd still got all the lovely drape. So I thought about what I would make it in, and I decided on two options. One was this Lady McElroy fabric, because I thought that is perfect spring, and this is a cotton lawn, so it would drape really nicely for the cowl, and you'd get that sort of that pattern detail as well. And then the other option I thought of was this one, which was some fabric somebody gave to me because they didn't want it anymore, but I thought again that playing with the texture and the cowl neck in that could work really well. So now that I've got my top, I need something to wear with it. So I thought I would go for a pencil skirt, because I really like a sort of a pencil skirt for, again, weekends and work, depending on what I put on with it. And I found on Patterns for Pirates this really nice pencil skirt that I thought, done in Ponte, you wouldn't need to worry about zips, you wouldn't need to worry about elastic even necessarily, but it would have that nice fit. So and I would say if you were choosing ponte, I would go for a thicker ponte for quality. So this is a ponte that I got from Barry's in Birmingham, and I thought this would go really well with both this fabric and also this one. So a green ponte is quite a flexible colour. So now we've got in our capsule wardrobe top and skirt. So what, and if you mix that with the t-shirt, then you've now got a skirt that you could wear casual at the weekend with like a nice t-shirt, and then smarter with the cowl neck top in the week, or like going out for dinner. And I thought it's spring, so we definitely need a jacket of some kind. So I've gone for two things for this. So first of all, I've gone for the Mariana jacket from fabricstore.com, which is a free pattern. They've made it in linen, but I think any kind of sort of slightly stiffer than normal cotton, so like a twill, that sort of thing. So I went for this, like I think of it like as a pebble polka dot. This has got a bit of stretch in it as well, which I think is great for a jacket because it allows for a bit of movement with a nice fit. And this, I think, first of all goes really nicely with the green, but if you pop it with this fabric as well, so I was really working on putting the fabrics together. So can you see how they work? The reason why this pebble polka dot works with this is because this is like a neutral. Think of stripes, leopard print and polka dots as a neutral. So the white really brings a freshness, and I did think you could, it's the whites are a little different, but you could, if you were feeling brave, definitely go for those three together. The other reason I chose this for a jacket is I thought it's a really nice spring, bright, fresh that would go with all colours and would go really well with jeans and everything. So I could see that coming into my wardrobe really well. But I did see one other jacket option, which was the olive jacket on Fibre Moon. Now, if you've been lusting after the Closet Core Sandstone jacket that was released last month, you might be thinking, oh, I don't want to join Closet Core Crew to get it, even though I think that's brilliant. I really enjoy my membership of that. But if you didn't, Fibre Moon have a very similar jacket, the olive jacket. So that I thought would also be nice, but I was looking for more of a workwear. But if you're looking for a spring jacket, and I think this fabric would work perfectly in both of those. The final thing that I decided I would make is from Made for Mermaids, which is the snap scarf, and that would be with a knit fabric. So I was thinking I might actually make it in the ponte as well, because sometimes in spring you're in like indoors, and it is definitely warmer indoors and you don't need so much on, but then it just gets a little chill. And this snap scarf can be worn like a bolero, can be worn as a scarf, can be worn in about 20 different ways. So I thought it was a really flexible spring piece, and it can be done in any sort of knit. So if you do it in jersey, it would be drapery and less warm. You could do it in more of like a cable knit. Imagine that with like a minty green or a lilac cable knit with it. And I just thought it brings something to the capsule wardrobe that makes it more flexible. Now, got skirts, got tops, got jacket, but one of the things I always love is a dress. So I thought the dress would go with the jacket and with the scarf, and so I decided to go for a dress from engrassa.com. I'll put an image here. I thought it was a really nice sort of long line maxi dress that had some nice details, and I decided to go for it in this fabric. So you can see my spring theme here. I got this fabric from Fabric Guys. I'd seen this or similar that Agatha had bought in Agatha's cottage and went off searching. So I thought this would make a lovely spring dress because you've got all the bright greens. And if you think of that with this jacket, that again works brilliantly together and brings a freshness in. And you could easily then put the scarf over the top for a little bit of warmth, but you could then start putting over the top things like, where I love like a sleeveless vest top or a cardigan. And I was thinking I've got that pink cardigan that would work perfectly, and I've got an orange cardigan as well. So I was thinking about how do these, so if I hold these all up, look how they all work together. See how that palette all works. and that's because they're all in that same tone of range with the freshness of the jacket, but also they work well with the wardrobe that I already have. So they would be my picks. I think if you were putting together a capsule wardrobe, you might want a cardigan, but I went for the snap scarf instead, which can serve as a cardigan. I might have another rummage through my stash and maybe go for like a lighter colour for that to add in here. But I do think that picking a colour and building your palette around that is a really great way to create a capsule wardrobe. And also these patterns that I've chosen are, as many as possible, I've chosen ones that aren't just PDFs, but A4 PDFs, but are also AO. So I know that the Ingressa, and I'm pretty sure the Fabric Store are A4 and AO, because if you're like me, I really hate printing off and sticking PDFs together. Closet Core I think is also an AO, and Maison Fauve is, because I've already had that printed. I think Made for Mermaids may be just A4, and I know that Mood Society is only A4, but don't forget CLC prints can pattern stitch together for you. They'll quote for you how much, but if like me you're like, I am not sticking 30 pages together, 40 pages together, there are options to get that done. Well, I really hope you enjoyed my pattern pick for a spring / workwear capsule wardrobe. If you want some more spring sewing ideas, do go and watch my spring plans with Legend Textiles, and also watch out, because in the next few days I will release my other Sewfrugal vlog, which is about great websites to go to pick free patterns from, and also how to keep costs down in your sewing. I will be back soon with many other sewing adventures, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Bye.